Hi all, welcome to your screencast number 2 for A-Level Sports Studies. We are going to look at confidence. So following our changes in behaviour in terms of arousal and anxiety and aggression, so we're looking at something more positive. So how, as an athlete, do I maintain my confidence? When we look at confidence, there's two types: self-confidence and self-efficacy, and it's really important that you understand the difference between those. So keywords to help you remember. So self-confidence is a person's belief in their ability to achieve. So it's their own belief in their personal ability. Self-efficacy, however, keywords for that one is situation specific. So it's confidence based on specific situation. So for example, if I have confidence in my ability, I could go onto the football pitch and be confident that I could provide a good performance. Self-efficacy is about confidence within a specific situation. So for example, taking a penalty kick. So I am the number one penalty kicker because I have good self-efficacy in that specific situation of scoring a penalty when under pressure. So two things linked to confidence but with two slightly different definitions, and it's really important that we understand those differences. So our key focus is self-efficacy, and we're looking at a theory completed by the lovely Bandura, and we've come across him before with some other different theories. So this is what our model looks like. And Bandura sees self-efficacy or situational specific confidence as being based on 4 primary sources of information, hence the 4 green boxes on the left-hand side. So our first one has to be performance accomplishments. The next one, vicarious experiences. The third one, verbal persuasion. And the final one, emotional arousal. And these 4 things will link together to give us our efficacy level and later on our performance. So that's the beginning of our model. So we need to know what each of the 4 sources of information mean. So performance accomplishments then, our very first one. We are looking at our previous experience. So what have we previously accomplished in terms of our sporting performances? Maybe that's in terms of trials we've done or a skill we've been able to perform, but how have we done previously? Because of maybe something we've achieved in training or competition, we then form the basis of these future expectations for ourselves. So if we've done something particularly well before, it gives us confidence that we will be able to repeat that in the future. So previous successes allows us to create confidence for our performance of that same skill in the future. Vicarious experiences then. So looking at, if we break it down, we're looking at victory or success and our experience of that. So it might not necessarily be ourselves, but it's more often than not looking at other performers being successful when performing the same skill that we would like to achieve. Now, it's really important that we remember in terms of this that number 1, the performer has the same skill level as the observer. Okay, so anyone that's watching another performance must have the same level of ability as the person that is watching them and gaining the confidence from them. Okay, most important thing. Okay, so you get that idea of if they can do it, I can. So the vicarious experiences. You're viewing victory and success of another player and it gives you confidence, providing that performer is at the same level or you view them as the same level of ability as yourself. Moving on then, verbal persuasion. Nice and easy, simple word to remember. Okay. By verbal persuasion or encouragement, you build confidence. Usually from a coach, could be from another teammate. By encouraging someone, you build their confidence. Obviously, verbal is your other keyword, so verbally you encourage somebody else to build their confidence. A bit like egging them on. Yeah, you can do that. Really trust in you. Definitely think you can do that. Also, the performer themselves can always do a little bit of positive self-talk. So it does work both ways. So verbal persuasion, verbal encouragement that is always positive to build confidence. Finally then, emotional arousal. So Bandura said how you interpret your arousal can influence the confidence of the performer. So it's individual to each performer, depending on how they perceive possibly physiological changes, might depend on how their confidence is built. So if they know that heart rate and breathing rate increases when they warm up and that gives them adrenaline, and they perceive that in a positive manner, then their confidence will be boosted. If, as an individual, I perceive increased heart rate as, oh my gosh, I'm getting anxious, I'm getting really worried, I'm getting myself worked up, my confidence will drop because I'm perceiving it in a negative light. So depending on how an individual interprets their own emotional arousal, their confidence levels will be influenced based on the interpretation that they make. So if we put that all together then, we have performance accomplishments. So what have I done before that has allowed me to be successful, and that will impact on the expectations that I have of myself in the future. Vicarious experiences, so seeing other people be successful, tarring myself with that own brush because I am at that same level of ability, being persuaded by my coach, encouraged through positive means of praise or positive self-talk for myself. And lastly, emotional arousal. So interpreting my arousal emotionally and possibly physiologically as positive. Provide my efficacy expectations, so my confidence and the confidence I can expect to have in myself within a certain situation, therefore influences my athletic performance within a certain situation or of that specific skill. So make sure you've made notes. You should have that diagram put underneath each of the factors on the left, what each of them mean, and make sure you also have a think about how do you link this. So how can we increase our self-efficacy within ourselves, knowing what those 4 factors are and how they impact on our efficacy. And I will see you next lesson.